Well, hello friends. Today we're going to work on the terminal in Serenity because I just realized while I was using it that it doesn't let me select stuff, and I would really like to be able to make a selection and then, copy paste the selection because I thought that's just such an obviously useful feature. So I thought we would just implement that. And the idea is that it would work just like it does here in my mate terminal. So let's just jump right into it. Now, I haven't worked on the terminal for a while. I feel like I keep saying that in every video lately, like I haven't worked on XYZ for a while, but I haven't, so I have to get reacquainted. But that's usually pretty straightforward. Although in this case, I did get a bunch of patches in the terminal from other people, so that slows me down a little bit when I get reacquainted. But anyway, so currently the terminal is backed by this guy right here. It's a vector of lines. And do I have to sneeze? No, maybe not. Okay. So it's a vector of these lines, and yes, it starts up here as line 0 and goes all the way down to line 25 in the terminal usually, but if you resize it, you get a different number. So we are going to want to have something like sort of like the text editor does, that it just has a selection start and a selection end. So we can make a class for that, or even a struct. So we can call it like a buffer position, or just a position. Maybe a buffer position is pretty good. And then, wait, what am I trying to do? What am I trying to do? Int row. Wow, that looks shit. There we go. Int column. Maybe that's good enough. And oops, we should put that below the forward declaration here actually. But something like that. And then next to the lines, we'll put buffer position m selection start, selection end, and can have an is valid. I thought I would make this into a struct, but I like making classes. Let's just make classes. So let's say that row is column, and then we'll just have these be -1 or some negative value if they are invalid. Okay, and we'll allow that, and we will allow this. Okay, and then we'll do return row. Oops, that's not a good idea. Okay, that's a pretty nice looking class. Let's go with that. Okay, and it's warnings I'm just gonna ignore. Whatever. Now we're gonna have to listen for a mouse down event. And likewise with a mouse move event. And finally a mouse up event. Yeah, we're gonna need all of those. Okay, so let's see if we can implement those. Give ourselves a little bit of space here to work with. Start with, let's just put these, let's just write them out first. So when we mouse down, we want to, should have done this section. We want to check if it's the button is not Gmouse button left, then return. And if we're mouse moving with the left button, if we don't have the left button, actually, we can return. Okay. So we're mouse downing somewhere. Now we want to set the selection start to be here and the selection end to be empty. So first we'll do like that. Let's see, buffer position at event position, something like that. And of course we'll have to actually create that function, but buffer position at const point const. Okay. Position. Okay, and oh god, how does this work again? So there's a whole bunch of stuff outside of the text buffer. So there's the frame and the inset, and then there's a line height to care about. So how do we just need to convert an XY coordinate to a buffer position. So how hard can it be, right? So we'll say point adjusted position, or I don't know. Translated. First we'll remove the frame, and then we'll remove the inset. I mean, I guess the inset is actually only horizontal, or no, it's vertical as well. And I think that's a start. So we can actually write this way, rather. And then all we need to do is x is adjusted position dot x divided by font glyph width, like that, and int y is adjusted position y divided by the line height. I think that's okay. And these aren't really x and y values, but row and column values actually. So there we go. I think that's it. Okay. So here, when we move the mouse, I'm gonna say selection end is buffer position at event position. I guess we can also say update. Because that now, let's just repaint whenever this changes. Okay, so then here, when we mouse up, do we actually need to do anything for that? I mean, I guess we'll just stop. I think maybe we don't have to do anything. Maybe I'm wrong about that, then we'll get back to it. But now we gotta worry about rendering this. So we have the reverse fill for cursor thing. So we can rename that cursor or selection. And this is basically either if the cursor is blinking. Oh yeah, right. So this is if it's the cursor position, or we can say if selection contains row column. Something like that, and then we'll add a helper for this. Terminal selection contains const buffer position, like that, and okay. Okay, so let's see. Position row. Oh, wait, hold on. If there is no selection first, selection start. Or m selection end is valid, then just return false. Okay, if the row is smaller than. Oh shit, and this makes me realize that we should also normalize the selection because the start might be before or after the. They might be, you know, one might be before the other. We don't know which one is which. So let's say that auto normalized selection start is m selection start. It's less than m selection end. So m selection start. Oh wait, hold on. Position. We'll just do this, and then if that. Okay, and then we need comparison operators. So bool operator. Other const 10 mrow. Or mrow is other mrow and m column is less than other m column. That's it, right? Yeah, sure. Okay. So if position row is less than m start selection row. Oh, well, I guess if we make more of those operators, we could just do position just do that. We just need to implement those operators. Wait, does this one get automatically implemented? I feel like it doesn't, but I'm not sure. Okay, now I'm confused. No, it doesn't. Okay. Buffer position other cons return mrow and m column is other m column. Okay, and then we just need greater than or equal is that. Cool. Okay. Let's see if this actually works. Okay. Alright. Nothing happens. Oh. Well, it's not really working right. So we're gonna need to print some stuff out here, I feel. Let's debug printf. D to D. How about that? Selection and column. Just need to see what it looks like. Wait, this isn't at all what I wanted to do. Okay, so up here is I'm confusing the row and the column here. The row is not the X value, it's the column. What a silly bug. Okay. It's weird, but that there's like this sort of convention that when you do X, Y coordinates, then you say X first and then Y. But with row and column, it's kind of more comfortable to say the row first for some reason. At least in my head, I don't know why. I want to put row and then column. And that kind of tripped me up here. Yeah, so this is more like it. So we have selection. It's pretty cool. Oh, I guess when you click, it should go away, maybe? It does already? Yeah, it kind of does. Well, it goes away, actually, on next draw. So, we should update when you do a mouse down as well. Because then we'll get rid of any old selection. Click, click, okay, it's kind of cool. So, I'm thinking like, should we do the Xterm thing where we just, whatever you select gets copied and then you use right click to paste? That's pretty nice. Or is it right click to paste in Xterm? No, it's not. I mean, it's like middle click to paste. Yeah. I always like that on Windows. If you're using the PuTTY, P-U-T-T-Y terminal, then it has a right click to paste. I always thought that was really neat. So maybe we should do that here actually, because we can take our influences from anywhere. So let's just tighten this up a little bit. Maybe, well, no, that's okay, but we'll say it like that. A little tighter. Very important. Okay. And then I guess we will do the selection once you do the mouse up. So first off, let's compute what we select. I was thinking I should include the clipboard actually. Let me just do that. Go EG clipboard, because we're gonna need that anyway. Okay. So if end selection start is valid or end selection end is valid, then return. Okay. And we're gonna want these again, and I don't want to duplicate this code, so let's just make helpers for these instead. Like that. And buffer position terminal normalized selections start const, and we will have one for end as well. Will just be return selection. If start is before end, then we will return this one. Yeah, like that. Beautiful. Okay, and this is what we call it. Right, and then we can use these down here. So do we have some character at thing? Paint. I guess we just have to grab at it. Okay, well, whatever. So let's see. Make a string builder for int I, or row, is normalized selection start dot row. We'll call it start. Row less than start at row plus row. Okay. Wait, what am I trying to do? I want to be greater than or equals to end row. Okay, and then we'll do for end column is start. Oh, well, no, this is a bit tricky here. So, start our row. If it's a start row, then we'll do for column and what's the last column here? Column is if start row is end row, then the last column is start column, or I mean end column, whichever. Otherwise, it is m columns minus 1. Yeah. And then column, last column, plus I, plus column. And actually what we can do here is we can do last column and in first column, and we'll see if row is start row, then the first column is start dot column. Otherwise it's 0. Yeah, that's much better. Because then we can just do this. Oops. We can just do this. Builder dot append line row dot characters column. Is that it? Is it that simple? Debug printf copy like this. Builder to string. We'll call it text characters. And we can even do G clipboard dot set data text. Will this work? Wouldn't that be cool? Urge home. Alright. Flip. It really does seem to work. It's pretty cool. Okay, well, that's very nice. Okay, so let's do the paste as well. So if you mouse down with the left button, then we're gonna do this. Else, if you mouse down, G mouse button right, we're gonna do a paste. G clipboard text. No, data. That's the thing, right? Data? Yeah. So if text is empty, then just return. Otherwise, we will paste this and what's the best way to do that? So how the hell do we do it currently when you type? I guess it's key down event, then so we just want to do this basically, write the text. Okay, let's just do that. Text, characters, and text.length. And written, oops. I mean, it might be interesting. Oh, that didn't work. Why not? Assertion failed. Right, yeah, of course. Stupid. Uraj. Plop, 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 plop. Very cool. Alright, so let's commit this, but first let's do a patch review. So, let's see, so we're just including the clipboard, and here we rename that should reverse fill for cursor to should reverse fill for cursor or selection. And then we just also reverse fill if the selection contains a certain character cell. This is just renaming that. And then we added this normalized selection helpers. So actually, let me test that out because I just want to make sure that I didn't screw that up. So if I select backwards, home, select forwards, yeah, that's fine. Okay. So these are the normalized selection thingies. And then here asking if the selection contains a certain position. Let's see, is valid. I was thinking, we could have something like has selection. That's a little bit more expressive. So just nuke that debug output and O has selection const. I guess we can keep those there. Just make sure that it's still built. Okay. So now we have has selection. And asking if the selection contains, just checks if the position is within the more normalized selection. That's fine. Buffer position at computes the row and column based on an incoming mouse coordinate. So we just subtract the thickness, the frame thickness, and the inset, and then divide with the line heights and the character width. That's fine. And then mouse down event, when you mouse down, then we initiate a selection and remove any existing selection. If you right click, then we paste the clipboard data if there is any. That's cool. And then when you mouse move, if you have the left button pressed, then we update the selection end. I guess we could avoid a bunch of those updates there because we're probably updating pretty heavily. So we could do hold selection end is M selection end. So if it actually changes, then we'll do something about it. And that means that we have to give it a not equals operator. Const. Okay. So yeah, so if the selection actually changes as a result of the mouse move, then we update, otherwise we don't. So that makes these updates a little cheaper, or makes them a little fewer, because like I just move the mouse like 1 pixel left and right, it doesn't actually change the selection. Okay. And then in mouse up, that's where we actually compute the selection text. And I'm thinking maybe, just maybe, I should put that in a separate function. So I'll make a terminal selected text, and we will put that like this. Return builder to string. Text selected text, and that's the string selected text const. And then we can't call a line because there's no const version of that, so we have to add one. It's not a big deal. And actually we don't need to print this stuff out here because now we know that it gets copied, and then we don't actually need the temporary, so it's a little nicer, and then we can just do it that way. Blop, blop. Blop, blop. Cool. Okay, and what else did we add? Just a bunch of functions in the terminal class. Here's the buffer position class, which ended up pretty big because of the comparison operators. And yeah, extracting the selected text. So we compute the first column and the last column for every row, and then we just append those characters to the builder. It's all pretty straightforward. We'll just do this. No, this looked a bit better. Okay. I can never really decide if I like this for single line loop bodies, or if I like to skip the braces. In this case, I don't want to skip the braces because this somehow doesn't look right to me. I guess because of the like the extra nesting that's going on here. Like if it's in the outermost scope, like if it's like this, I don't mind it so much. Anyways, it's not the most important detail. So I think we're good. Yeah, so let's just commit that and say terminal allow add basic mouse selection with copy and paste. Left mouse button selects, right mouse button pastes, which implicitly copies the selection on mouse up, right mouse button, then pastes whatever's in the board. I always liked this behavior in PUTTY. So now we have it here as well. Cool. All right, let's push. We've got a lot of stuff to push. Anyway, and let's see that again. Very cool. All right. So I think that's terminal selection working nicely. So if you made it this far, then I thank you for watching, and I'm just gonna paste into the text editor here as well. See, that works too. Very cool. And then you can do LSL here and paste that. Lop. Yeah, it works exactly like you would expect. So yeah, if you I already said that stuff, but if you are still here, then thank you for being here and for hanging out with me while I work on this, and for coming back and for commenting and liking and subscribing and all of those things. I really appreciate all of you guys hanging out with me. Blah, 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 blah. I will see you next time.